Hello and welcome back. This is Silverback Salvage and we are working on the lovely white S3 behind us. Now, if you don't know the story of this one, Mark McCann bought this car for us a couple of weeks ago for £5,000. Since then, we've fixed all the crash bodywork. We've done a bonnet, bumper, wings, new bonnet hinges as well. We've also given it a full service, changed the spark plugs, and today we are doing some drop links on the front because it grinds on the drive shafts when you go full hard lock, so we're going to sort that out. We're going to sort out the gearbox, and what else are we going to do today? The cam follower. So we're going to replace the cam follower. They are notorious for going on these, so we're going to get that done. This car's done about 60,000 miles, so yeah, it's a serviceable part. We're going to get it serviced. Yeah, big thanks to Dan at DST Rusto Works. He's letting us borrow his unit once again. We've got the car in the ramp behind me here. So yeah, Dan's got a new project that's just hidden over here that he's got from Tasty Classics. So if you know, you know. So go and give his YouTube channel a follow. He's going to be doing a lot of work on this. We might get to show it to you later on. But for now, let's get cracking. So first things first, we are going to do these drop links. So going to get this front wheel off, and then we're going to sort the drop links. I'll show you a bit more when we're inside there. But let's get it off for now. So I'm just going to show you where we're going. So in here, you got the top of the drop link. And then you got the bottom of the drop link there. Now, what we've got is when we go full lock, the anti-roll bar is actually grinding on the drive shaft. So yeah, we're going to stop that. We're going to put a shorter drop link in now. Not quite sure how short yet because we bought adjustable ones, but get this set up and then we'll see what we're going to go for. So I'm going to try and get you in here, but I don't know how well we'll do with you actually being able to see anything. But well, actually that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, so that's good for that one. So we'll crank that off in a second because that's nice and loose. That's well, not too tight at all, but it's got a breaker bar on it. So that's just spinning on the joint inside. So now I'm gonna have to try and work out a way to grab that. Yeah, so this bolt is actually spinning in the drop link. So what I'm gonna try and do is have a look at what size it is. See if I can get an Allen key in the end, and then get the ratchet spanner on it as well, and work it that way. It's got to be that size, but it's a little bit crusty in there. Yeah, she's very crusty in there. Let me get my pick, see if I can get that out. So I started fitting the adjustable drop links. Now I made these as long as I possibly could, but I could only get about 1.5 to 2 mil longer than the original ones that are on there. They were already pretty long. However, I'm hoping that 1.5 to 2 mil is enough to make the drive shaft clear the anti-roll bar. Right, that's both sides fitted now, and you can see I've got a lot more clearance here for my anti-roll bar, so hopefully when we drop this down and take it for a quick test drive outside, when we go full lock to the right, we won't get grinding here. You can see it there where the drive shaft gets rubbed by the anti-roll bar, so I'm hoping that just those couple of mil longer on these adjustables . So we're under the engine bay now, so we've got the cam follower to get done, we've got to sort out that gear linkage, then once that's done we can hopefully look at getting the door electronics fixed, then once they're done change the centre armrest, and then that's it. That's going to be it for today. The last thing we've got on the car is the wheels are getting refurbed. Once they're done, it's finished. So she is up for sale if anybody wants her. So ripped off the air filter, took off that top cover off the engine, and started having a look at how we were going to change this cam follower. So first things first, there's a little Schrader valve on the bottom right hand corner. I just got my pick in there to release the pressure just to get some of the fuel out, a little excess fuel comes out. It is very high pressure at that point, but yeah, it's not too bad once you get the fuel out of there. It is a tricky little bugger to find with the pick though. So once I've released the pressure, I just then use a 13mm ratchet spanner to crank off that Schrader valve just to let all the excess fuel out of that fuel pump. Then we're onto the electronics, so just two little plugs to disconnect, one on the left hand side, one on the top. Get my pick in there just to make it a bit easier. Be careful with the one on the top though. Quite a lot of times people snap these and crack the housing, so. Then it's time to crank off the bottom fuel line, so that's just a 17mm spanner. So now we need to disconnect the pump from the head. So to do that is just 3T30 bolts, crank them off, and then it pulls away nicely. There is a spring inside, so just be careful with that. Then once you slide that out of the way, you can just pop your finger in the old cam follower and pull it out. The car has only done 61,000 miles, but just to give you an idea, it's meant to look like this, completely black. Try and get that to focus, there we go, completely black. And once it shows any sign of silver, it's too worn and must be replaced like pretty much straight away. So yeah, I think this one was due a change. As you can see, it's fully silver there, but got a genuine replacement part, so we'll get that fitted, new seals, new bolts, and then we'll go from there. So just get a little bit of oil from the outside of the housing and rub that around the new cam follower, then she slots in nicely. Nice fresh blue seal on there as well. Again, rub a bit of oil over it just so it's lubed up before you put it in, and then basically do everything that I just showed you before in reverse. So now we have the moment of truth. Let's let those fuel pumps prime up a little bit, and then we'll give her a start. So then I let her run for about 4 or 5 minutes so we can give her a little blip. Right, so that's a bonus. She runs after the fuel pump was primed, and then that's it. So let's try and sort this gearbox issue now, shall we? So after fanning about, we have narrowed it down to a sticky gear cable. So the where it goes into the top of the box, that was sticky, that's now all nice and free. Put the left hand cable on, still returns nicely. Put the right hand cable on, and it doesn't return. So disconnected that, had a look inside the car, and the gear stick is nice and smooth backwards and forwards, but left and right is really sticky still. So I've just called a breaker just to see if I can get a second hand gear linkage and all the way through, gear stick and all the way through. So probably not going to be the last video on this one. We're going to get probably one more, but yeah, so that's that for now. I'm just going to put all that back together. So put the cables back on, put the shims back inside, and put the retaining clip back on, and put the bolt back in the top of the linkage. But that's as much as I can do on that one for now until we get that new set of gearbox cables. So there we go, we can't finish the car today. We'll probably be back in Dan's workshop next weekend. We're going to get a second-hand gear linkage and set of cables, and we'll get those fitted. And then once that's done, there's very little left. I've still got to do the door electrics, get them working, but we're nearly there now. So hopefully it'll be a couple of weeks and we'll be on to the next project. So we'll have to see what we can get. You know, I've been watching and I've been looking and bidding, but we haven't won anything yet. So, you know, hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye bye.